A powerful play performing now at Berkeley Rep. It's a story about a family that takes us from the 1960s civil rights movement to the present. It's called The Ripple, the Wave That Carried Me Home. And here to tell us more is actor Christiana Clark, who plays the role of Janice. Welcome to Bay Area Focus. I have to say, right here on the record, I love the hat that says, "Love Yourself."
Thank you very much. I am so honored to be here. This hat is a reminder to myself to have that for me and to maybe give something to people who may pass me. And it also helps because we perform 6 days a week and I have to wear a wig. So this is the mystery.
That's right. And you know, we love that. And we love that you're bringing that spirit here to the Bay Area. So let me be one of the first to thank you for bringing that energy here. I think we need that positivity in our world and our community, that reminder to love ourselves. The Ripple, the Wave That Carried Me Home. I'm a big fan of poetry. Just the title sounds poetic. There's a rhythm to it. Tell me how that title informs the work that you're performing on stage.
Well, the playwright Christina Anderson, who is Tony nominated just last year for Paradise Square for writing the book for that beautiful musical, who also came to Berkeley Rep. She is a poet by nature. And so The Ripple, the Wave That Carried Me Home speaks to the pull of family and ancestry that can pull you through into life and maybe a current that sometimes you fight against. It also speaks to the elements and themes of aquatic activism, as Christina has coined it, that the characters within this play, my character Janice, her parents Helen and Edwin, in the late 50s into the 60s and 70s were activists in their hometown to desegregate and integrate the public city pools. So that ripple and the ramifications of that go through their community, through their state, and through their family lives. And how Janice, as in the play, a grown woman with her own family in 1992, is living in the wake of those ripples, of what her childhood meant, of the expectations of that way to show up into community and life, and how you can strive to do that in this new and independent way, and not in the way that maybe was given to you from family, from history.
Right. So, you know, the device of the play really is centered on the pool and what happened in the pool. And a lot of people might think, well, that was in the past, but we still deal with these same themes in our world right now. And we need to know about our history to find better gateways for the future.
Yes, absolutely. The history of civil rights and activism is not at all new, especially to the areas of Berkeley and the Bay Area, of folks of different marginalized communities making their voices heard, making change, making sacrifices, either loudly seen or quietly done, to make changes for the generations to come. You know, and I don't have to tell folks that in the last few years, the resurgence of the knowledge of that with 2020's George Floyd moment and on through the gender rights and female rights, there's a responsibility for us for who we want to be and what we want to set up for our future that roots in this activism. And sometimes it's protesting and chanting, and sometimes it's recreation, which is where swimming came into play. That history of the fight for freedom for Black folks to have an integrated life into swimming, to truly, as written in the play, to have just as much right to recreate as anyone else, you know, to bring the full humanity and offerings of being a citizen of whatever city, state, and country that you may be in.
And you know what's really important, I think, is to be able to reference stories like that, you know, people would say, well, that was in the 1960s, but to reference those stories as the time when somebody stepped off the curb, they advocated, they made change, because the message is for the young people in your audience, you can do it too. Here are the people who did it in the 60s, and in the year 2023 and beyond, you can do it too. That has to be so heart expanding for you, somebody who's delivering that
Absolutely.
message. What's it like to see young people in the audience and see that light
It's
bulb go off?
it's incredible. We had a teen night, I believe, within our first week of performances, and got to speak a little bit with some of the youth that came to the show, and they, I think, have been in it even more presently than I would even say my generation at their time, because of the access of social media, because just the instantaneous nature of news and events. And so they are on board, I think, from the beginning. One of the things that I think is incredible is that it's showing a story that isn't someone necessarily spectacular, who made these sacrifices or took these chances or spoke at the time, but it tells the story of people, just kind of everyday people. My character Janice is taking the truth of family and history, finding where it applies in life, finding where she has her own voice and how that can speak to the past, but also speak to today, and making decisions into how it moves forward in that moment
To
with
carry us home.
joy and with love. Yes, to
Yep.
carry us
To
home,
carry
which
us
is a
home.
place of safety and freedom and peace, and which is a beautiful thing to offer.
Yep.
That's where it can bring us.
Christiana.
The wave doesn't have to be
Yep.
destruction. The wave can take us to home, to peace.
That's right. And that's the goal
Yeah.
of all art, I think. Christiana,
Yeah.
you're an angel. It's so nice to have you here in our community. I
It's
appreciate you
wonderful
so
being here.
much. Love
Thank
yourself, the
you.
message on the hat. If you can't
Yes,
love
please.
yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? Said RuPaul.
Come on now.
Don't miss Berkeley Repertory Theater's production of The Ripple, the wave that carried me home. May we all find home through October 16th. For tickets, visit berkeleyrep.org. And we appreciate you watching.